first grade. We're going to do our last 2 pages in our soil packet. We're going to do them together because there's a more challenging page to do coming up. So I want you to take your soil packet, and I actually want you to flip it over because we're going to go to the back of it. You're going to turn 1, 2, 3 pages, and your page should look like this. It should say, which soil grows seeds? And this is an experiment. So we're gonna do this together, okay? So the objective is to understand that some soils have properties that are better for growing seeds. The things that we need are sandy soil, clay soil, and loam soil samples, 3 plastic cups, 3 bean seeds, and water. Okay, and then our procedure is we're going to fill each cup up with 1/3 of the way of each type of soil. We're going to put the seed under the soil about 1 finger length deep. We're going to put the cups in a sunny location, and we're going to check the soil daily to see if watering is needed. The soil should stay damp, and we're going to observe what happens over a few weeks. So, our hypothesis, what do you think will happen when you add water to each type of soil? So, here we're going to write, what do we think will happen? Well, I've learned over the course of the last week that loam soil is the best for growing plants. So I'm going to write my hypothesis. What do I think is going to happen? I think the plant will grow best in loam soil. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to be looking at different weeks. So I've been growing these plants for a while. So we're going to look at the different weeks that they're growing. So I'll go grab those and then we'll be right back. Hi, first grade. This is week 1. You can see we have sandy soil, loam, and clay soil. I just barely watered them, so they look kind of wet and dark right now. And it's week 1. They just got planted, and you can see there's no growth yet. We'll check back. We'll go back to our page and fill it in, and then we will check again next week. So we just checked our soils and we noticed that there's no growth on any of them. So in this box, there was none in the sandy soil, none in the clay soil, and none in the loam soils. We're gonna fill that in. We're gonna check on them in just a week, and so we'll see them in just a second. Ready? Fast forward through time. Welcome back, first grade. So now we're in week 2. We fast forwarded through time. I've been growing these for a while now, and we can see in the sandy soil, we still can't see any plant growing. In the clay soil, still nothing. But in the loam soil, do you see that little green buddy? He's starting to grow. He looks a little bit stuck, but we're gonna leave him. But one of them is starting to grow in the loam soil. Super exciting. We're gonna fill out our page. We'll get right back to it. Ready? Go. So in week 2, we noticed that there was no plant in the clay or the sand. It looked like those ones didn't grow. But in our loam soil, it says to record the length of the plant. So we're going to be looking at our little friend in the loam soil, and we're going to measure him. So we'll be right back with him in just a second. So first grade, we're back with our loam buddy, and he's growing a little bit. We're going to use this tape measure. You can see the big numbers are the inches, and the little numbers are like fractions of an inch. And I don't think this guy's going to be very tall, just because he looks like he's kind of folded over, but we will see. So we're gonna put the tape measure right in the soil and we're gonna measure him. It looks like he is about 1/2 inch tall. So when we look at our week 2, we're gonna write 1/2 inch. Okay? And that's where we're gonna stop for now. Maybe next week we'll get an update, but so far we only have 2 weeks of plant growth. So we're just gonna leave these 2 blank and we're gonna turn it over to the other side. And on this side, we're going to interpret the data. So, what have we learned from this experiment? Oh, well, I learned that the plant grew best in the loam. The plant grew best in loam. Whoop. Good catch. And the second thing I learned was that nothing grew in the sand. And then I want you to fill out your last one. So you can write about the clay. You can write more about our plant in the loam. It was all bent over. Or you can write about the sand a little bit more, but I want you to fill in this last one here with your own thing that you observed. And then in our hypothesis, well, my hypothesis was that the plant would grow in the loam. So I was correct. And right here, you're going to write about what did you learn about how different soils hold water. How does clay hold water? How does loam hold water? How does sand hold water? I want you to fill this in. What did you learn from watching this experiment? And at the bottom it says, what questions do you have? What do you wonder? And would you do the experiment in a different way? So you're going to fill out these 3 parts. You're going to fill out something you learned, how do soils hold water different, and then any questions you have. Okay? When you're done with that, go ahead and pause the video until you're done, and then unpause it. We're going to turn over to the next page, and this is a types of soil quiz. So you have to match the definition, the word to the definition with a line. And then I want you to draw a picture of the soil that's best for planting most plants and make sure you label what kind of soil it is. And then you're going to answer these questions. So let's go over it again. Right here, you're going to match the word to the definition with just a line. Here, you're going to draw a picture of the soil that is best for planting most plants. Make sure you label it, so you say what kind of soil it is. And then here, we're going to answer questions. I want you to circle every one that applies. So there might be more than one answer, so make sure you circle all of the right answers. Number 7, how do earthworms help plants grow in soil? Earthworms eat flowers. Earthworms pass soil through their body, which acts as fertilizer for plants. Earthworms dig burrows in soil, which lets water and air into the soil. Remember, you're circling all of the ones that are correct, and then we're going to go to the next, and that's it for this packet. So your packet should be completely finished now, okay? All right, I'll see you later, first grade. First grade, so it's time for our week 3 update in our soil packet. So you should have already filled out the packet, but we're going to look at it really quick because there was a lot of really good growth. So we can see last week when we checked it, there was nothing in the sand, nothing in the clay, and it was only a 1/2 inch in the topsoil. So we're going to look at the sand again, and I've got my tape measure right here. You can see, I'm going to tilt this, he's starting to grow a little bit. So we're going to measure him. And he is about 1 inch. So from growing from nothing last week, he's now 1 inch. We're gonna look at our clay soil. So you can see, still nothing here. So we're still gonna write none. And then this one is exciting. I looked at this one recently and I was amazed because we went from a little 1/2 inch to this buddy who's so tall now. He's grown so much, so we're gonna measure him. So remember, last time he was only this tall. This time he is right there at 4.5 inches. So he grew 4 inches in 1 week. So we can still see here that our loam soil is the one that's growing the fastest and the best, but it looks like our sandy soil is growing second best. He's probably gonna pop up soon too. Okay, we'll see if we get a week 4 update. Bye guys.